So, now, continuing forward, how do I do what I do? Because a lot of my tarot readings wind up being very accurate. So how do I do what I do? I guess you could say I'm more of an intuitive. Okay? I'm not a clairvoyant. I'm not a psychic. Okay? I'm more of an intuitive. Okay? If you're going to call me something, at least say the right thing. Okay? It's more of like a feeling, an inner knowing. It's not that I'm clairaudient. I'm not connecting with somebody that I'm hearing. I'm not having visions. I'm not a psychic that I'm seeing visions. Okay? Okay, there's a difference between clairvoyant, somebody sees visions, clairaudient, somebody that's hearing something from other side. I'm more of an intuitive. It's an internal knowing. Okay? So vast difference between claiming to be a psychic or claiming to be a clairvoyant, which is a clairvoyant, or a clairaudient. Okay? I'm not a clairaudient. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a clairvoyant. Let me repeat that yet again. And I've said that so many times. I've said, people go, well, what's my future? What's my future? See a vision. See my future. Well, I'm not going to see your future. Okay? I'm not a... I keep telling people this. Quit asking me that. I'm not a psychic. Stop it already, okay? I read the cards. I'm an intuitive, okay? It's kind of like, how do I put together mantra? How do I know how it works? Because I know the energy. Okay, that's how it works. How did I put together the COS? This is a practice I give. It's for a very big expansion. It just came. It just comes. Line by line, no, just right there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? I can't explain how it happens. It's not something I look for. It's just there in the consciousness. Okay? So again, if somebody asks me to look at their life, I'm not a psychic. I don't connect with dead people. I don't see something. I don't see ghosts. I don't see dead people. I don't connect that way. But on the other hand, if I'm working with Siddhananda, she's doing pendulum, she does connect. And it does come through her. She is a psychic. She is more psychic. Now, when she's connected and she's psychic, other things, extraneous, other extra information will come through me. I'll just know. It just flushes it out. Okay? It's just like I said, it's like more of an inner knowing rather than a visual or auditory. It's more a sense of just a flow that happens. Okay? So again, it's something different. So, I'm very honest in what I do. If I were psychic, I would tell you I'm psychic, but I'm not a psychic. Okay? I'm not going to claim to be something I'm not. I'm not going to claim I'm doing something I'm not. Bottom line. End of story. Okay? So again, people that are coming, don't put in my mouth that I'm claiming this or I'm claiming that when I'm not doing it. Okay? And again, I'm not a witch. Okay? I'm not doing spells. I'm not doing incantations. I'm not a witch. I'm not a sorcerer. Okay? So those that want to come and say you're doing witchcraft, it's tarot and it's witchcraft. Well, no, it's not. Okay? Again, ridiculous notion. Okay? What else can I put out about this to clear the air of these erroneous, ridiculous things that people are coming in with? again, if people thinking this is so satanic, and this, then why are you on this channel? Why are you watching it in the first place if that's what you think? Again, you might want to cognize what you're doing. Oh, I had to watch it so I can tell you how wrong you are? Really? Okay. Again, those that want to quote the Bible, this and that, you might want to look at the Old Testament, the priests in the temple, on the breastplate. What did they call it? Urim and Thummim that they used to have, that they would take it off, and it would actually foretell what was going to happen. Okay, you might want to check into that. Okay, Old Testament has nothing to do with sorcery. Okay, has nothing to do with witchcraft. Okay, it was good enough for the priests. Okay, again, you know, before people open their mouths about something you don't understand, you should research it more. It's like, you know, the same thing. They go, oh, you got tattoos and you're this and that, and the Bible says not to do tattoos, not to do... No, they were talking about cutting. They were talking about cutting when somebody would die. In Old Testament times, they would wail and scream and cut themselves and rub the ashes in. It doesn't say anything about making the body more beautiful, celebrating it. It talks about disfiguring yourself through pain, through pain. Okay? Because nothing is lost. You know, it's not said to mourn the dead. Like when Christ arose after the third day, he's like, what's wrong with you? You know? There is no death. I'm not dead. Hello, wake up. Oh, planet. Wake up. Okay. So again, please don't come and try to preach to me about the Bible. I can quote it backwards and forwards. I was a minister. I studied out in an esoteric Christian order. Hello? I've read the Bible cover to cover. For a number of years I studied it. Okay? So there's nothing you're going to tell me that you think you're going to enlighten me about, you know, with your hate-filled comments, okay, that I'm going to hell and that you're such an upstanding, brilliant person to tell me that, okay? Let me tell you, God judges the hearts and the minds. So what's in your heart and mind when you're saying that? Okay? A nasty, angry little person. Okay? So quit. I am quite fine with Christ. I'm quite fine with God. Okay? I know 100% karma is real. Okay? And I live my life with honesty, integrity, transparency, and sacredness. And if you lived even half your life in that order, you wouldn't be doing the things you're doing. So think about it. Sit with it. As the Psalms say, Selah, S-E-L-A-H, stop, contemplate it, think about it. Okay? Rather than coming here with the big beam in your eye and want to tell me about this little mote you think you're seeing. Again, may I say, if you think tarot and thing is dark and not the devil, then why are you here on these channels watching it? Okay? So I'm going to leave this here. You know, I'm the wrong person to come to preach about. Okay, preach to. Okay. If you want to have a conversation with me on this level, I will turn you every way but loose. Okay. So again, please do not come here and think you're going to tell me something that I don't know. So you can take your judgmental drama with you down the road. And next time you want to pick up a Bible and tell me I need to read the King James Bible, maybe you can start. First, read the words of Christ first. Read the things in red. That's the things in red, the red color. Read those first, okay? And then go back and read the rest of all the New Testament. And after you've studied that, then go back and understand the Old Testament, okay? See where Christ came from, okay? Did you know Christ is a Jew? Did you know that? Did you know? Do you know Christ is Jewish? Oh my God. Christ is not Jewish. He's Christian. Oh my God. Some of the misinformation that's out there is just insane. You know, the evangelicals, they have really thrown away the Bible and they preach prosperity. Christ never said anything about preaching prosperity. Those that are first will be last, and those that are last will be first. Do you understand what that means? Okay? You've taken something out of context and spun it into something else. Like Christ said, why did he go into the temple? He threw out the money changers and stuff. He said, this my Father's house is a house of prayer, and you've made it a den of thieves. Well, the same thing with your prosperity preachers that are saying, send me your money, send me your money. They made it a den of thieves. And I guarantee if Christ came back on this earth in this moment, the evangelicals would be the first ones to want to crucify him again. That I can guarantee you 100%. Okay? What you see that's happened with the Christian church is beyond atrocious. It's gone from being something of spiritual to being religiosity of dogmatic nonsense. Okay? And as long as we're on that, as far as the Catholic Church, if the Pope were any kind of a Pope, the first hint of a priest abusing a child, they should excommunicate them. Okay, immediately. Any of those that abuse a child, it says, should be what? A millstone hung around their neck and thrown into the deepest sea. Are you getting that? What you have done to the least of these, you have done to me, Christ has said. Oh, so they're out there having sex? They're buggering Christ? What you have done to the least of these, you have done to me, and they're in a position of power? That's not a church. Okay? What do you think Christ is going to say when you go to the other side. You think he's going to welcome you? You covered it over, apologized. Oh, I'm sorry. But we do nothing else. Forgiveness. No, there was no forgiveness for that. What does it say? Repent. You know what repent means? It means you stop the action. You never do it again. But these guys keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. They haven't repented of anything. Okay? There is no forgiveness for that. Better they have a millstone tied around their neck and they be thrown into the deepest part of the ocean. Okay? That's what's waiting for them. Hell realms. Okay? They should be excommunicated immediately. So don't think I have any love loss for so-called Christian churches. These are not of Christ. These are of the den of Satan, because what is Satan? The king of ego. Okay? May I remind you about Satan? Shall we look at that? For all my good little Christians that are coming here, that want to try to school me. Okay? Who was Satan? You know who Satan is? I'll give you a chance to cognize that. Satan was the head of the heavenly choirs. He wasn't bad at the beginning. He wasn't created evil. Nothing was created evil. Okay? You know why he fell? Because of ego. Because he didn't want to give the glory to God. He wanted it all for himself. Look at me. I'm the big man. I do this great thing. It's all me. I do it. I'm the big guy. And he fell, and he became the father of lies. Father of lies. Okay? Satan is the father of lies. And you would have put Trump on a pedestal? The man can't tell the truth, so what God do you think he's following? Not the God I know. Okay? Not the Great Spirit. He follows ego, the father of lies. Okay? That's where he's going. Okay? And you want to put him on a pedestal, all these great evangelicals? Willing to sell your souls down the river because he talks against abortion? And that's enough to sit there and just swallow everything he does? As if he's some great light? Think again. Like I said, I have no time for evil. I have no time for darkness. I have no time for shadows. I know all your little games. Again, the way the darkness and shadows work, evil works, they start out with something that sounds true. You know that this little part is true, but then they slip in a little seed of doubt somewhere. Okay? And that's how they work with people. Okay? That's how trolls work. And it'll work with most people. They'll say something nasty to you, try to downgrade your standing, okay? How you feel about yourself. And if you don't know who and what you are, maybe that little seed will plant in your mind and it'll fester there, fester there. That's how darkness works. Okay? But when you come to the point where you know who and what you are and what is not, it doesn't work anymore. Okay? Because you know what they are. They are inherently liars. And let me tell you about shadow and darkness. Shadow and darkness has no power. Oh, it wants to think it has power. Okay? And it may be fool people. If you're running scared, you give it power. But it really doesn't have power. Okay? What happens to the darkness when the light is on? Game over. It can't stand in the light. Darkness cannot overcome the light. Not now, not ever. So when people leave the form, consciousness goes to light consciousness. And if it is a dark mindset, it can only go so far. It cannot climb to the heavenlies. Light can always come down to penetrate darkness, but the darkness cannot rise. It can't take it. Okay? When the darkness tries, it tries to run from God. It hides from God, the darkness. It's alone, singular, in this dark because it can't stand the light. Okay? So again, this is the wrong place to try to mess with. Okay? When you've done the whole of a spiritual path, you've already gone through the temptations, already seen all the little evil for what it is. You've already had, when that evil has come at you full force, okay, and you stand your ground, and you find out it's got nothing, okay? So again, for those of you that have never been around these demonic spirits, okay, I can tell you what it's like. When I used to give retreats, I've had a few come, and they had some demonic entity, drama, darkness within them, and they'd come up and start spitting and growling, and just, you know, I mean, you'd have to hear it, like exorcist type stuff, growling and spitting and wanting to tear you apart. And you know, all it takes, one finger right in the third eye and they're done. They can't move, they can't touch you, they can't do anything. They just sit there and spit and sputter and snarl and, you know, and you laugh at them because they have no power. When you know the truth, you know the light, they have no power. Like Christ said, fear not. Understand, fear not. There is nothing to fear with this. Fear not. Okay? That's the truth of it. That's the truth of it. Okay? But all of this comes when you've done a serious spiritual path, and you've had, you know, like when I was young, I didn't know what I was asking for. I asked to walk the path of Christ, and man, you get it. Be careful what you ask for. Because if you ask for something like that and you're praying just to know God beyond anything else, you want nothing else in life but to know God, to get out of this maelstrom of nonsense, you want to know truth above all things, it's not an easy path, okay? You will face the path of the temptations, okay? Feeling like you're going through the scourging, like you're being crucified. I mean, really, you go through that path, and it's not easy, okay? There will be times you'll be praying for death. It's so excruciating. And if you ever have the moment where you feel the weight of the world, the pain of the world, you can't imagine what that feels like. Okay? If you've never had that experience, if you've never gone through the dark night as a soul, okay? And you're praying for death because it's just, you can't take another second of it. And then you go through a stage like a zombie, And this is even worse than the pain. And you pray for resurrection at that point. Okay? It's a very long, difficult path. Okay? But all these things you have to confront. You can't be a teacher if you don't confront it, if you have not walked it, if you have not lived it. How are you going to aid others if you've never experienced it yourself? Okay? So yes, you go through the pain, you go through, unimaginable depression, suffering for a number of years until you can find the way through, the way out. Okay? And there is a way through, there is a way out. Okay? And then you share that knowledge with the world as much as you can share. As much as you can give, you give. In whatever way you can give, you give. Okay? It's a commitment you make to the universe. And that's what you do. Your path is complete, and then you give back. Okay? So again, people, please do not worry about me. I am quite fine. This is nothing. Again, internet trolls are nothing. They're little shadow, wannabes, anonymous, like monkeys in a zoo throwing shit, and they've got nothing. They've got failed little lives of unhappiness, and their only way that they feel empowered is if they can try to drag somebody down to their level. Okay? Because they cannot climb to your level. So they want to try to do what they can to drag people down, to make them feel like they've got to step up. Okay? So don't let them tear you down. No matter what they say, let it in one ear and out the other. It's a shadow. It's nothing. Okay? They have nothing. Again, they're sad, pathetic individuals that have to hide behind a screen of anonymity. They would never say this to your face. Okay? They would never say it to your face. They will not show who they are because they are pathetic, sad individuals of pain and suffering. And all you can do is feel sorry for them, that they're in this mind of revolving BS, living a life of lies. Okay? Of pathetic ideations, chasing dark conspiracy theories, of just absolute degradation. It's like they're swimming in a sewer. Okay? So let them have their sewer. Okay? And you don't need to take it on. Okay? So I'm going to leave this here. We just got off on a lot of different subjects. I guess all this stuff needed to come forward this evening for whatever reason. Hopefully it helps somebody, okay, to have a little more strength in their life, okay, and to know that, you know, again, the trolls are pathetic. The Russian bots. You know, when you hear these things with this robotic voice, why did they do a robotic voice? Because it's Russian. Because they've got a Russian accent. So they use this bot, robotic thing to talk and put out all this information as if it is something special. Okay? If it were really coming from somebody from America that could speak English, they wouldn't use a robotic voice. Okay? So again, nonsense. Again, don't take it in. Let them just... That darkness is not going to win. Don't let them suck you in. If you can't handle it, okay, and it's going to play on your mind, then just, block and delete them immediately. Don't even read it. Read 2 words and you find out where they're going. Don't read the rest of it. Just block and delete them, okay? Because like I said, I know some people, it will plant a seed and they'll start running around and they'll spin on it all day. Okay? So if you're not in a place where it's like water off a duck's back, where it really doesn't affect you, if it's going to affect you, just block, delete them immediately. Don't engage it. Don't get in a long back and forth. You see on my channel, if I engage one of these fools, it's to make a statement and then they're done. Then they're blocked and deleted the rest of the time. Poof, you're gone. You get one shot and one shot only. You better make it good because you're done at that point. Okay? Okay? So yeah, no, I don't get in a big back and forth. I'm not going to sit there and argue with them for days on end. They get one comment from me, one thing. If that, 99% of them don't get to have that, even that. But on occasion, I'll answer. Then I go and I block and delete. They're done. Poof, gone. Okay, with their ignorance. But sometimes I will put out and try to, enlighten some people as to what's actually here that's not, what their lies and spins want to put out. That's why I do it, okay? That's all. So again, I'm going to leave this here. It's getting long. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful evening, and I will see you online in the morning. Have a great evening. Have a good rest. Again, take something, relax, chill. Don't take the nonsense in. Just be happy where you're at. And yes, we continue to fight the fight. Okay? But you don't have to be consumed with it in every moment of every day. Just don't be consumed with this stuff. Okay? It's going to right itself. It's going to get better. Okay? So, know that as long as we continue to stand for truth, it has to come about and get righted. At this moment, it's just flushing out the darkness. That's all. It's flushing it out. And when all the crap is seen for what it is, you flush the toilet and get rid of it. That's it. Okay? Bottom line. That's it. The rats are being flushed out of their hiding spots. Okay? The snakes are slithering out from their rocks. Okay? We find out what they are, and then you crush the head of the snake. Okay? So, I will see you online. See you in the morning. Have a great evening. And, again, don't take this stuff in too much. Relax. Take a breath. It's all going to be okay in the end, okay? It's just now we're involved in a bit of the soap opera. That's all. But see it more as a movie script, okay? It's going to flush out and things will be back to fine, better than they were, okay? See you online.